How's it going, everyone? This is Pete Han here. I am going to be doing a commentary track for the first loop of Commando. Commando is an arcade game released in '85, and the loops don't get any harder. So if you can get really consistent in your runs, you can end up playing it for a while. So this is just going to be the first loop. I'll give you some information and some insight as to what I was doing when I was trying to do a million-plus point game, and I'll link that in the description if you're interested in seeing me do a multi-loop run. But let's get started. So Commando isn't, I wouldn't say is super hard. It's not very easy either. It's kind of punishing in that it's a one-hit death game. So unlike Mercs, the sequel, there's no like smart bomb, which means there's no like get out of jail card if you're in a tight situation. So you kind of have to know some parts of the level by heart, so there's a little memorization. So what I'm doing right here, I'm bombing the trees with the grenades, and I do this usually just in the first level just to get my spacing right for the grenades. The grenades don't have that big of a hitbox, so I want to make sure I'm going to be accurate the rest of the game, so I'll try hitting the trees. Plus you get 400 points, so if you're score attacking you might want to do that anyway. You can use grenades on these guys to get them behind the rocks, but I don't feel the need to just yet. They don't fire right away. So the grenade pickups are they're pretty important. You definitely don't want to be running low on those. They're also good for score attacking. So these are the bosses. Basically, the enemy gates open and you get swarmed by a bunch of enemies. There's a couple things to look out for during these. The grenade tossers are the first thing you have to pay attention to, and usually they'll separate from the main group. It's something to look for. If you see someone standing still out of the main group, not running around, chances are he's going to be throwing a grenade. If you see him standing there for more than just a second, chances are he threw multiple grenades, so that's just a little thing to look for while you're playing. In this part right here, I want to get that 5-pack of grenades, so I'm going to take out a few of these guys in the trenches. Alright, he's taken out. So that the grenades are, the number of grenades you get are represented by the number of boxes on the ground that are there, so that's just one grenade. I'm not going to bother with that. The general idea in this game is you want to keep moving. You're a harder target to hit if you're moving. So I try to keep moving forward as much as possible. I don't usually try to kill those guys. They're 1,000 points if you're score attacking, but I find them more trouble than they're worth. I think I take a death here. You'll see me, I think, like, run into a grenade. Here we go. Yeah, I was going to get hit by a grenade and I took a bullet instead. So it's important to realize that when you're backtracking to avoid enemy fire, if you backtrack in the exact way you just came, you're at risk for running into a grenade, because the grenades are aimed shots, which means they're going to land exactly where you were at the time they were thrown. To be remembering where exactly you were and try to not double back on exactly the same path, at least when a grenade's going to be landing. Alright, level 3. It gets a little harder in this level. First two levels aren't too hard. Definitely keep moving on this in this part. I don't necessarily go for those grenades every time. You can go for them, but I'm not in danger of running out. I've got 20 of them. I don't go for these. I think these bridge areas are some of the toughest parts of the game, so definitely keep moving. This area here, the way I tackle this is I beat the 2 trucks, send that 3rd truck flying up, then I backtrack. The reason I backtrack is because the truck's throwing out their little grenades, and then there's the vehicles from the sides, and then there's the troops, and I don't want to deal with all 3 at a time, so if I let the 3rd truck go ahead, then I don't have to deal with one of them at least. Alright, I missed with that grenade. It's important to get your spacing right with the grenades. There we go, I got the guy on the right with that one. And that guy shooting the, the turret with the... I'm gonna let this guy live so I can pick up their grenades. And he just runs away. He lives to fight another day. Alright, when they say last area, I think they mean last area of the first part of the game. The game is actually 8 levels, and this is level 4. I don't go for that. If you stall at all right there, there's going to be more of those bazooka guys coming out, and that's not worth it in this area. That was a 5-pack of grenades, so I went for that one. Alright, if you steer the screen more to the right, there you go. Those shots will be too far to the right, and you'll be able to pick up those grenades safely. So those rocket launcher guys, the best way to deal with them is keep moving forward. And if you can, try to take out both these window shooting, because they make it really hard to move around if they're able to put shots on the screen. Alright, I was just able to find a small little gap there. So that is your first duty, according to the game. And now you're picked up by your helicopter and brought up to the last half of the game. This game is kind of short. It's only 8 levels, about 10-11 minutes if you're playing for just one loop. So it's here we go. We've got a good stock of guys here. We've got 4 extra guys. In this part, I swing around to get these because I'm pretty well protected. The scenery kind of protects you there. Just don't wait too long or else you're going to get grenaded. Alright, now this part up here, definitely be careful of the guys coming before the bridge because they tend to fire at the bridge, so you might have to do some dodging in the tunnel there. I want that 5-pack of grenades, so I'm going to bomb these 2 guys, take those guys out, clear the path. This part here, definitely don't stick around either, or else more of these bazooka guys are going to come out. Alright, just be careful not to run into any grenades. See the guy sitting in the corner, they'll throw 3. That's how you know they're throwing grenades. They're going to sit up there in the corner for a second before they come down. So you'll see me double back and not in the other way of which I came. Okay, this is level 6, or yeah, I guess you can call it level 6. Just keep going straight up in this part. You can try picking up guys if you want, but keep moving. It's a general idea here. Especially during this part, these little gopher holes, I definitely recommend keeping moving up here as much as you can. If you stall too much here, there's going to be a bazooka guy coming out before that bridge. And good luck dodging the bazooka guy and bullets you can't see that are going to be fired under the bridge. Alright, another death here, I forgot where. Alright, keep firing. This is a little shortcut here. Oh, I remember. I actually fell into a pit. I was going for a safe spot. Behind those holes, you can kind of hide. Bullets can't get you behind the holes, but you can still fall into the hole. You can fall into them usually just from the sides. So I'll try not to do that here. Alright, you'll see me kind of press up against the holes right here to take cover. The bullets will stop. It's a semi-safe spot. I won't call it a safe spot. And look at this. See, he went off the top of the screen, but I shot him through the bottom of the screen. It's kind of the glitch in the game. If you shoot through the top of the screen, the bullets come out the bottom and vice versa. Alright, in my opinion, this is the hardest level in the game. This beginning part isn't very easy. There's not a lot of room to move to dodge. If that guy's not in your path, don't go for him. Oh, pay attention to my grenades count. Just went up by 3 there, and I didn't touch anything. Don't pay attention to that death, though. I'm going to show you that hidden grenade trick again. I think there's a sprite limitation in effect here. And there's a stack of 3 grenades on the right side there that corresponds to the left. Definitely don't go for that grenade there unless you want to deal with a lot of enemies and guys on the bridge throwing grenades. So this is the toughest part of the game, definitely, in my opinion. You have to be ready to dodge the trucks. See, I almost made it there. The trucks come down pretty quick. You have to dodge them pretty quickly. And the bazooka men have almost a full screen range. You can back off to the very bottom of the screen and usually their shots will miss. So try to keep moving forward. Summon the trucks and then get out of the way. Move to the bottom if you have to, like you see me here. And with a little luck you'll get through. Alright. Some grenade tossers there. Alright, so this is the last level of the loop. I did forget to mention, if if the game is not throwing too many things at you, sometimes you can hear grenades being thrown at you with a little high-pitched whistle. It's an audio cue for a grenade toss. Sometimes your grenades make the sound when you throw them, and sometimes the enemy's grenades make the sound. But it seems like there's like a hardware limitation, like it doesn't always happen. Maybe if there's either too many sprites or too many other sounds going on, it doesn't happen. See, right there I heard no sound from those grenades, but I'll hear them in some other instances, and if you pay attention, you'll hear them. This side, you have to get to the middle here. See, there's spikes left, right, left. You have to get to the middle there to get through that part. Alright, I doubled back on where I just was, and that cost me a life there. So I'll try not to do that again here. Alright, take out the guy in the window. Oh, I missed him. He goes away sometimes by himself. I've noticed that some of these guys at the bases, they just disappear. So yeah, that was good. And yeah, that's the loop. Yeah, like I said, fairly short game. Very easy to pick up and play. Like the gameplay mechanics are super easy. It's just hold out as long as you can. You get lives up to 1,000,000 points every 50,000 points. So here starts loop 2. But you get lives up to 1,000,000 points, and you get them at 10,000 points, and then every 50,000 points. So over the span of a game, if you're playing for the 1,000,000, you're going to get, what's that, over 20 extra lives. So the best way to think about it if you're going to be trying to go for a 1,000,000+ point game is you have to be consistent enough to spread out your deaths so that you always have a little breathing room with your extra lives. So in this particular game, I ended up with 2 extra guys at the end. I would have liked to have more than that after one loop, but basically just be consistent and keep playing it. It took me a few weeks of practicing to get this game down to a point where I could get more than 1,000,000 points, and I will link that video in the description. But if you have any questions on this game, or any other strategies that maybe I didn't know of, feel free to post them up. But yeah, this is Pete Hahn showing you a 1 credit replay on Commando for the arcade. Hope you enjoyed watching.